So last class we discussed about torque equations and its problems. Last class we discussed about torque equation and its problems. Today class we discuss about performance of characteristics. Performance of torque slip characteristics. Torque slip characteristics. That means how the torque is varies with the slip. So we have to go for this topic. We have formulas for starting torque, that is equal to constant K into R2 square by E2 square R2 divided by R2 square plus X2 square. This is a full load torque, that is equal to K into SC2 square R2 divided by R2 square plus SX2 whole square. And maximum torque, T max equal to K into E2 square by 2x2. So observe these three torque equations. The slip is on full load torque. The slip is on full load torque. Only we have to consider the full load torque, because starting torque slip equal to 1. So maximum torque there is no slip. The full load torque TFL equal to K into SC2 square R2 divided by R2 square plus SX2 whole square. R2 square by SX2 whole square. In this we can consider low range of slip. Consider low range of slip, full range of slip, low range of slip, high range of slip. In low range of slip the S value is somewhat less. So consider low value of slip. Consider low value of slip. Consider low value of slip. So in that S value is very less. The TFL is equal to K into SC2 square R2 divided by R2 square plus SX2 whole square. In this the S value is very less. SX2 whole square is less than R2. The R2 value is very more as compared to SX2. That's why we can neglect this one. And also the K value is constant. The value of K is equal to 3 into 60 by 2 pi ns. 3 into 60 by 2 pi ns. So next E2, that is the EMF induced, is also constant. The torque is directly proportional to SR2 divided by R2 square. SR2 divided by R2 square, where R2 is the rotor resistance. R2 is the rotor resistance. That's why R2 is the rotor resistance. That's why R2 is also constant. R2 is also constant. So the torque is directly proportional to S. The torque is directly proportional to S. So this one is I am draw. So this one is the torque is the slip equal to 0, low value. We consider slip. So torque is directly proportional to S. Up to some value it look like a straight line. Up to some value it look like a straight line, linear, because the torque increases, the slip also increases linearly. Slip also increases linearly. This is about the for torque for low values. For high values of torque, for high values of slip, high values of slip. So for high values of slip, K into SCT square R2 divided by R2 square plus SX2 whole square. R2 square plus SX2 whole square. The slip value is high. Slip value is high as compared to S is greater than R2. We can neglect R2 square. We can neglect R2 square. The constants is K e to R2. K e to R2. Finally, the TFL equal to S divided by S square x2 square. S square x2 square. Here x2 also reactance of rotor at standstill. Reactance of rotor at standstill. It is also constant. The TFL equal to S divided by S square. That means TFL is directly proportional to, that means inversely proportional to S, or directly proportional to 1 by S. The torque is inversely proportional to slip. The curve should be like that hyperbola. The curve should be like that hyperbola and drawn. So this one, the slip equal to 1. So during this is a straight line. After that one, the torque is like that. The torque is like that. This is the torque. So this is the maximum slip at this condition. At this condition, the torque is also maximum torque. Torque is also maximum torque. Here slip equal to 0. This is the maximum slip. Here slip equal to 1. Here consider slip. Consider slip. So S equal to 0, S equal to SM. So this is the starting torque. This one is starting torque. Here we can consider two regions is there. One is 0 to the SM. This is like a straight line. It's like a straight line. This is the stable region. This one is stable region. So when the slip is increases, from SM to 1, the curve should be like that unstable region. This is like that unstable region. So the torque of induction motor is always operated with stable region. That means only this region we can operate it as induction motor torque. It's any of this linear point we can get full load torque. We can get TFL. This is the torque equations of torque slip characteristics of induction motor. Torque slip characteristics of induction motor. So what this mean? Low value of slip. Low value of slip. From which one? 0 to S less than to SM. S less than to SM. During this region, the torque is stable region. The torque is stable region. When slip equal to 0 means what is that value? N equal to NS. N equal to NS. That means full load conditions. Full load condition. So high value of slip. High value of slip. High value of slip. So in high value of slip, what that one? So SM less than S less than equal to 1. During this case, what is the torque? Unstable region. Unstable region. During this one, the torque is unstable region. So unstable region means slip equal to 1 means what? N equal to 0. That is standstill condition. What I am saying? Standstill condition. Slip equal to what? Ns minus N divided by Ns. Ns minus N divided by Ns. See, so in that N equal to 0, slip equal to what? Ns by Ns equal to 1. Slip equal to 1. Slip equal to 1. So next we can see that one, effect of the rotor resistance. Effect of the rotor resistance. Effect of the rotor resistance. Of rotor resistance. That means in torque equation, the effect of rotor is how much effect on the starting torque, how much effect on the maximum torque, how much effect on the Standard start. So in this T start K into E2 square R2 divided by R2 square plus X2 square, R2 square plus X2 square. In this also starting torque is directly proportional to the R2. That means it definitely affect on the starting torque. So T max equal to K into E2 square by 2x2, K into E2 square by 2x2. In this any resistance is there? Nothing is there. So the resistance does not affect on the maximum torque, does not affect on the maximum torque. This is a TFL, that is K into SET square R2 divided by R2 square plus SX2 whole square. In this also resistance is there, that means resistance of the rotor is there, that will affect on the full load torque. So we can see, draw the characteristics like that. This one is slip I am considering, in this torque I am considering. What is that one? Is the slip equal to 0? This one is slip equal to 1. I am plotting dotted lines. In this the torque is up to some extent is increases. After that this one is like that. After that one, this one is like that. This is this one. This is the what? Maximum torque. This is starting torque. At to any one of the linear point we can operate, we can get full load torque. We can get full load torque. So I am changing the slip. I have to change the resistance value is like that. The resistance value, the slip also changes. It will changes the starting torque and running torque. It will changes the starting torque and running torque, but maximum torque will not, does not change. The maximum torque does not change because the maximum torque is independent of the resistance. Independent of the resistance. We can see another one. This one also like that. So you can also see also like that. So in this one is actual R2 dash, R2 double dash, R2 triple dash. These are like that of the torques equations. So like that of the torques will be affected, like that of the torques will be affected. So from that the maximum torque, from that maximum torque will not affected, the maximum torque will not affected by adding the resistance R2 or R2 dash, R2 double dash or R2 triple dash, whatever it may be. So it will not be affected. So only the torque, full load torque and maximum torque, full load torque and starting torque will be affected. This is the torque slip characteristics. This one is torque slip characteristics, torque slip characteristics. So next we can go for circle diagram. We can go for circle diagram. I am telling the importance of the circle diagram. Next class we can take compass and one protractor or whatever the equipments material needed for circle diagram. This one I am telling that all of you ready for the circle diagram. So the circle diagram means the purpose of the circle diagram is, the purpose of the circle diagram is to determine the performance of induction motor. Determine the performance of induction motor when without any loading. Without any loading. So the circle diagram is very important topic to determine the efficiency, starting torque, maximum torque, and what is the condition for slip, and whatever the parameters that affect of the induction motor, that can be determined by using the circle diagram. In this the motor will not be loaded. Only the motor is no load and blocked rotor test. Here in this circle diagram we have two tests are required. The tests are no load test. The test are no load test. Another one is blocked rotor test. another one is blocked rotor test. The no load test and blocked rotor test. The purpose of the circle diagram, we require no load and blocked rotor test. No load and blocked rotor test. Already we discussed the no load and blocked rotor test in our previous classes. This is the no load test. In this no load test, we can apply the no load. So without no load, open the rotor. That means rotor will no load. So this can be, we can take the readings of voltmeter, ammeter and wattmeter. That is V0, I0, W0. From that we can determine the no load losses. That one we can determine no load losses. So like that we can determine the no load parameters R0, X0, R0, X0. Similar way we can determine. So blocked rotor test already we discussed in this one lecture. So I am simply summarize the blocked rotor test in this. The blocked rotor test. In blocked rotor test, we can apply 3-phase AC supply to the motor. The rotor is to be blocked by tightening the belt and pulley arrangement without rotating the rotor. Without rotating the rotor is blocked. So in this we can also apply the rated current by adjusting the 3-phase auto transformer. We can get the blocked rotor voltage, short circuit current and short circuit, that is the copper losses. From that these two readings we can base one base, that like we can frame the circle diagram. That means like that this one is a circle diagram. We have following processes are there. We can discuss in tomorrow class. We are ready for that one. So taking from no load current like that, short circuit current, so matching these two, we can get one another current and take that one. So we frame one circle like that. So from that we can determine the performance characteristics of the induction motor. We can find the performance characteristics of the induction motor. This is very important topic. This topic can be handled by tomorrow. All of you ready for the draw the circle diagram with equipments. So thank you for watching. Thank you everyone.